So there's a command in Fusion called replace face that not a lot of people know about and what it's used for. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use it. So let's take a look. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the replace face functionality under the modify menu. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is creating a new component. And I just updated to the latest release of Fusion and noticed something a little bit different that I wanted to point out. So I clicked on New Component, and you'll notice I'm in a hybrid design. And when I click on New Component, it says Type as Hybrid, and I see this design name External. And it's wanting to save into this particular location. If I were to hit OK, it puts me into this Edit and Place environment. And this is going to save an external component. So you can see that link right there. And this is a little bit different than how Fusion has worked previously. So let me show you the process for this. I just undid everything. I'm still in my hybrid design. I'm going to say new component. And for the type, I'm going to say I want to create a part. And now you'll notice I'm doing a standard part design, or I could pick sheet metal, but in this case, obviously I want standard. I have the option to say it's an external part, but I don't want it to be. I can give it a name, so I'm just going to call this handle and say OK. And now I have my handle component that's not externally linked. Now, I can kind of see why they did this. It is a good idea to have externally linked components if you're working with assemblies. But in this example, I'm kind of just doing a single part, so I don't really need that functionality. So that's how you can work around that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just create a quick shape here. I'm going to just use the spline command, and I'm just going to draw something that looks, I don't know, kind of like a handle of some component or whatever, just something like this, some kind of a weird shape. Maybe I'll move some of these points around just a little bit to give it some character, something like that. Okay, then I'm going to extrude this, give it some thickness, let's just say -2 in this case, and say okay. Now, I want to give this top surface some curvature. Now, there's a couple different ways you could do this. A lot of times people would create a sketch like so, and then maybe just use like the arc command and just do like a 3-point arc like so, and then split the body using this as the splitting tool, right? And then that basically splits it into two separate bodies. And I would just remove that top body, and it gave it some curvature, but only in one direction, only in the direction of that sketch, of that curve. It didn't add any in this direction. So that's not always the best solution. It only basically split it in that direction. So the other way is to do a direct edit. But to do that, you have to change into direct modeling, and you would lose all of your history tree or your timeline. So if I say change to direct modeling, the timeline, all your features, all your parametric history will be deleted and cannot be restored. So I'm going to say delete. You'll notice my timeline goes away, but now I can do this edit face. And that allows me to pick on this face. I can add some extra features in there. And then I can pick on points or edges or something like that to edit this particular face. So I'm just going to go ahead and say OK. And now you can see I've added that bump to that face. But again, you have to destroy your timeline to do that. So I don't always like that option either. So I think the best option is to use this replace face. So to do that, you need to have your standard shape, and then you have to have another shape that you're going to use as a reference. And I like to use the form tool to create that shape. So I'm going to say create form, and I'll just use a plane in this example. Now, the key here is your shape has to be bigger than your object. So I'm going to say 2 point. I'll pick on maybe this top face here and draw a rectangle that's larger than my original shape. It can't be smaller like so. So I'm going to do something like this. And once again, I have the ability to control how many length or width faces I want. So in this case, it's doing 3 across and 3 up. I could do symmetry if I want symmetry. I don't in this example, so I'll just say okay. And I now have basically created a form face that I can now edit. So for example, I might want to pull this face down. So I'm going to right click on it and say edit form. And then I can just grab this arrow and drag that face down. And you can see how it's modifying just the plane. And so you can see how I pulled that face down. I might want to grab maybe like this point here, lift that up a little bit, and I'll just say okay. And I now have this shape here that's kind of bent in multiple directions. In fact, I might even maybe let's grab this face. I'll say edit form, and let's lift that up like so. Okay, I'll say finish form, and I now have, if I expand open my bodies, I have my original shape, and then I have this, basically this surface, this form surface. If I go under modify, replace face, it's asking what is the source face and what is the target face. So the source face, it's kind of buried underneath, but I can see some of it up here, is the top of the original body. In fact, I'll turn this guy off. So this is my source face. So I'm going to click that. And then what is my target face? My target face, I usually pick the bottom side of this surface, and watch what happens right here when I click the surface. You'll see how that body grew and extended up to that surface, and it basically removed the section that was extended up above. So I'm going to hit OK, and let's turn off this surface, and we can now see that what used to be a very flat surface now has curvature in multiple different directions that's actually driven by this form surface. We replaced the flat surface with this formed surface, which I can then just turn off. And what's nice about this is we can make changes to this form surface. In fact, check this out. I'm going to go ahead and add a fillet to the edge of our model. So I'll just come in here and let's just make a 1-inch fillet. I'll say okay, and there's our shape. I'll come back to the form. Let's go ahead and edit the form. Maybe we'll bring this point up higher like so. Say okay, finish the form, and it updated our model. So where this used to be much lower, it's now lifted it up, and our downstream processes, the fillet, updated also. So you can come back and make as much changes as you want to this form right here. I could come in and, for example, subdivide and add more detail into a particular section. So let me just add something like this in here, say okay. Maybe we grab these 3 lines here, edit the form, and push that region down just a little bit. Say okay, finish the form. And you can see how we've added that dent into our model. Or we can even take it a step further, where I'll undo that and maybe even subdivide this even further. So I'll go ahead and select all these faces, subdivide those like so. And now I can control, like I want to add some ridges, so I'll just click this edge here and maybe this edge here. Lift those up, and so you can kind of see how it's creating those ridges right there. Say okay, finish the form. So that made the fillet not work, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and delete that for now, and we'll add it back in later. I can also do things such as moving this whole form. I'll just come in here and say move, and let's rotate that form so it's more like in line with this. Maybe we'll move that over a little bit, say okay, finish the form, and you can see how we've now made the ridges kind of run along in that direction. So you have a lot of control over how this works. So now I want to go ahead and try adding that fillet back in here. So I'll say fillet. I'll drag this. Let's try the 1 inch again. And sure enough, that allows me to add that fillet back in there. I'll turn off my edges so we can kind of just see what it would look like so. And you can see how powerful you have the ability to create a complex shape like this. I know it's kind of a weird shape, using just replace face, starting with a basic shape with something like this. I didn't lose my timeline or my history, and I'm able to make changes to the underlying model very quickly and very easily using the form tool. So give that a try and see what you think. I hope you learned something new and enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure you've hit like and subscribe. That way you'll be notified of upcoming videos. If you'd like to learn more about Fusion, make sure you visit my webpage at cadedllc.com. And as always, have fun learning Fusion.